All right, Mario. We got another series to talk about for the NHL. It was the Avalanche and Blues. The Avalanche swept the St. Louis Blues 4 games to none, Mario. That team's just looking better and better. Let's talk about the Friday night game that happened. They won that one 5-1. They won last night 5-2, but we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Let's talk about the game that happened on Friday night. Again, Avalanche won 5-1. Let's get to the stats real quick, Mario. And believe it or not, Mario, this game, Nate McKinnon was not playing his best game. No, he only had 3 shots on goals. He had nothing else. And the Blues still lost. Let's get to it, okay? Ryan Graves had a goal, 2 assists, and 4 shots on goals. JT Compher had a goal and 1 shot on goal. Tyson Jost had a goal and 2 shots on goals. Alex Newhook, he had a goal and 1 shot on goal. And Brandon Saad also had himself a goal and 2 shot on goals, Mario. Carl Soderberg, he had an assist. Same deal with Mikko Rantanen and Valeri Nichushkin. Did I say that correctly? I'm pretty sure.
For the Avalanche?
Yeah. Valeri Nichushkin.
Yeah, I think, Nichushkin. I want to say it's that. Nichushkin.
Yeah. All right, so I was close. Gabriel Landeskog, he also had himself an assist. So overall, Mario, needless to say, the Avalanche were relatively aggressive on offense. I mean, look at the damn score. And Phil Grubauer, he saved 31 out of 32, which is a percentage of 96 or .969. So he did himself a really, really good job. He did really great this entire series, Mario, I'll be honest. Now let me go to the Blues from Game 3. Tyler Bozark, he had himself a goal and 2 shots on goals, and that was it, Mario. There was a couple of guys with assists, Ryan O'Reilly and Colton Poweryoke. They had one assist each. And Jordan Bennington did not have a good game, Mario. He only saved 21 out of 25, and just overall the Blues just I don't even know what to say to that team, man. GG's. And that was a save percentage of 84. I mean, I don't know what else to say, Mario. The Avalanche just bested them in every single category. It just wasn't even close. Now let me go to the game stats, okay? Because this is pretty interesting to me, okay? I'll go to game 3. It's right here. Shots on goal. The Blues actually beat them, Mario, 32-26. So there's something we should talk about. Face-off percentage, the Avalanche had them beat on that 51.9, pretty much 52%. And the Blues had 48.1. Power plays, no team made either power play goal. The Avalanche had 4 power plays and the Blues had 3. They didn't make any. Penalty minutes, the Avalanche had 8 and the Blues had 10. Hits, the Blues were very aggressive, Mario. They had 46 hits and the Avalanche had 20. Blocks, the Avalanche had 17 and the Blues only had 10. Giveaways, the Avalanche had 9 and the Blues had 16. And takeaways, the Blues had 4 and 2. So let me talk about this game, okay? Now that I look at it, there are some flaws with the Avalanche. Are there? Well, yeah, there are a couple of flaws from this game. Obviously, of course, the power play. We talk about this all the time. You got to capitalize on that power play. It's the best advantage possible in the sport. But then there's also things such as the hits. The Blues out hit them by 26. But overall, like you said in the last video, Mario, you did say that it doesn't really matter about the hits. It matters what you do with that puck. And the Avalanche just took that puck and ran with it. Shots on goal, 26 out of 30. 26 comparison to the Blues 32. Obviously, that could have been a little bit better, Mario. But again, it got them to win. They didn't need 30, 40 goals to shoot 5 of them. You know what I mean? So overall, it got them to win. So while that is a drawback, it is a benefit as well. It did get them to win. So as for the Blues, Mario, they had good offense. They were relatively aggressive. They just couldn't get them in. They were just outbested in every single category. I just don't know how else to say that, Same thing with power play. They weren't doing good. They were very aggressive when it came to the hits. They were doing a really good job with that. But again, at the end of the day, it really matters about what you do with that puck. Now let's go to game 4, okay, Mario? Avalanche, again, they won this game 5-2. They swept the series last night. So congratulations to them. I do wish them the best of luck moving forward. Not too much luck if you end up facing the Boston Bruins in those damn Stanley Cup. Then you're going to have some fun. But anyway, let's get to it, okay? Gabriel Landeskog had himself a goal and an assist and 3 shots on goal. Same thing with Nate McKinnon. He had the same exact stat line, so shout out to him. And same thing with Mikko Rantanen. He also had himself a goal, assist, and 3 shots on goals. Um, Valeri Nichushkin and Brendan Saad had himself a goal and 2 shots on goals each. So overall, Mario, again, it's the same. It's pretty much the same scenario going on here, Mario. The team just outbested them any way they could. And hold on, let me go to the goalie. Phil Grubauer, he saved 18 out of 20, which is a save percentage of 90. Now let me get to the Blues this game, okay, Mario? Their only 2 goals came from the same player, and that was from Vladimir Tarasenko. He had 2 goals and 4 shots on goals. Robert Thomas had himself an assist, and Ryan O'Reilly had two assists and 2 shots on goals. So, and Jordan Binnington saved 29 out of 32, which is a save percentage of 90 or .906. So he was slightly better than Grubauer, Mario, slightly better. Now let me get to the box stats for this game. Shots on goal, Avalanche had 34 out of and then the Blues had 20. Face-off percentage, the Avalanche had 47.4 and the Blues had 52.6. Power play, Mario, they addressed my issue from game 4. They made all 3 of their power plays, so shout out to them on that. The Blues made 1 out of 2. Penalty minutes, Avalanche had 6, the Blues had 8. Hits again, the Blues had them in that. The Blues had 20 hits, the Avalanche had 11. Blocks defensively, Mario, the Blues were relatively better. It was 19. Blues had 19 blocks, Avalanche had 13 blocks. Giveaways, the Avalanche had 7, and the Blues had 11. And takeaways, the Avalanche had 9, and the Blues had 6. So, Mario, this was a little bit better of a game. Like I said in game 3, the Avalanche didn't have any power play goals, but they made all 3 of them this game. So good job for them. Yeah, Mario, I look at it, the Blues were slightly better, but when it came to this team, Mario, slightly better was not going to cut it. It just wasn't. You got swept, and I'm going to be honest, Mario. I did say Avalanche before. I did say that. And I pointed to aggression. If you were not aggressive, you were getting swept. And I'm looking at this series and you just were not aggressive. That's just what it comes down to. You were not aggressive enough. As for the Avalanche, I look at it, Mario. First of all, I look at both of those games. There's one glaring weakness that I forgot to mention, and that's giveaways. You can't be giving away that puck, Mario. You know what I mean? Same thing with face-off percentage. The Blues had a slight advantage over them in the face-off percentage, but at the end of the day, like you said, Mario, it's all about what you do with that puck. But you can't give away that puck either, Mario. I know that's something you mentioned with the Islanders and Penguins game, how both teams were just giving each other the puck. Like, you can't be doing that. I know it's only 7, but it's not the worst thing in the world. But the last game, it was a little bit worse, but they slightly went down. So good for that. But my advice to the Avalanche, keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, they're doing an absolutely amazing job, Mario. They beat the ever-living snot out of the St. Louis Blues, and I wish them the best of luck in the offseason, whatever they decide to do. As for the Avalanche, Mario, they need to just keep doing what they're doing. They're doing a really great job on offense. Defensively, they're doing a really good job. Grubauer is doing an absolutely amazing job at the goaltending position. I say the only thing I'd worry about just a little bit, but not too much, is the giveaway and maybe the face-off. But other than that, Mario, I look at it and this team is just it's hard to point out. It's hard to point out a weakness. It really is. When I look at this team, they just do an amazing job in every single category. They really do. So with that being said, I'm pretty sure the Avalanche face whoever wins between the Wild and Golden Knights. So best of luck to them, whoever they face. And we'll just see what happens, Mario.
Yeah, well, before I say anything, congratulations to the Colorado Avalanche on sweeping the St. Louis Blues and going to the second round of the playoffs. Yeah, Nate, you're absolutely right. It seemed like the Blues just couldn't find an answer just to win one game. And I thought the Blues were gonna win one game, but it just didn't happen. I'm gonna point to game 4 first. Oh no, I'm sorry, game 3 first. Okay. Yeah, man. I mean, look, they did what I told them to do this part very well. They got Nate McKinnon out of the game. Okay. They cut the head of the beast. The only problem was the beast was still moving. And part of that beast, Nate, it's not just Nate McKinnon. It's that first line on the Colorado Avalanche. It is Nate McKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, and it's Landeskog. Those are the guys. And if you look at, and again, Nate, when you look at it, the funny thing about this is that when you really look at game 3, that whole first line wasn't even a part of game 3. They didn't have that big of an effect in game 3, which shows you how strong this Colorado Avalanche team is. And it surprised me because now they've shown to me how strong they are. Because I thought it would be as simple as get rid of Nate McKinnon. I see the next game, all right, fine. Get rid of that first line because I'm watching the game and I'm like, the first line's really good. They got rid of the first line and the Avalanche still beat them 5-1. So this is a strong, strong team. Okay. And we expected it to be a strong team. Why? Because of the President's Trophy winner. Usually the President's Trophy winner is the best team in the league. It's as simple as that. The Avalanche are a strong team. In my opinion, when you look at these playoffs, this is right here is the team to beat. Okay, you can point to other good teams as well. You can point to the Lightning, the Bruins, the Golden Knights. It does not matter. This right here is the team to beat. They were the best team in the regular season. They are proven so far to be the best team in the playoffs. Okay. So again, Nate McKinnon was not part of game 3. You know, Mikko Rantanen, they weren't big parts of game 3. Landeskog was not a big part of game 3. But let's go to game 4 real quick, Nate. Did that matter? No, because even though as leaders they were not part of game 3, they were like, all right, we need to set by example. Game 4 is going to be our game. Turn into their game. Okay, Landeskog had a goal. Rantanen had a goal. And Nate McKinnon had a goal. Look at that, Nate. The first line, all 3 guys had a goal. That's how you prove as captains, as a captain, not just that, as the first line, as the best line on your team. This is what we're capable of doing. Even though we had a bad game, we can prove that we can bounce back from that, and take adversity as well. So when you look at it, Nate, the Avalanche have very, very little weaknesses. Very little. And I think it's exactly what you point to there. I think it's exactly, if we're really going to look at it, Nate, I think it is exactly what you pointed to. Face-off percentages, again, 52.6 versus 47.4 in game 4. And then in game 3, they had, I'm going to it right now. They barely beat them 51.9 to 48.1. So when you really look at it, Nate, face-off percentages very tinily. That could be a weakness. And then Nick, you said giveaways. I mean, they had 9 giveaways in game 3, and then in game 4 they had
7, I believe.
7, right? Okay, so when you really look at it, Nate, oh no, they had 9 in game 4 as well. That right there is their biggest weakness: giveaways. They cannot be given away to. Oh no, you were right, 7. My bad. I got giveaways and takeaways mixed up. So it's 7 giveaways in game 4, 9 giveaways in game 3. That's a big weakness right there. Okay, but they also know how to take away the puck as well. That's the thing. So the Avalanche are a hard team to beat, Nate. They are a very, very hard team to beat. Okay, I say for the next team that plays them, in order to beat the Avalanche, it's not about getting rid of that first line. Okay, it's about getting those takeaways and using them to your advantage, controlling the puck. And I got to give a shout out to Grubauer too. He did a great job. Grubauer did a great job in this playoff series. Okay, he did not give the Blues a single inch. And I'm going to be honest, Nate. When you look at Game 4, the Blues did a good job. I know the score doesn't show it. And if you didn't look at the game, I understand. But if you watched it, the Blues only down 3-2. Those extra two goals came from empty net because they had to empty their net with a minute left. Obviously, we've seen that many, many times in the NHL. So the Blues didn't do a bad job. It's just you didn't do enough to beat this team or even tie the game to get it into overtime. That's the problem right there. So I gotta give the Blues credit, Nate, for game 4. Most of them, obviously, Bennington, he did a decent job. Okay. Could have did better, but still. But let me tell you something, Nate. This Avalanche team is really, really good. They are really, really good. And they've proven not only can they win without their first line being impactful, but they can prove. But the first line proved that even though we weren't impactful one game, the next game will be impactful. Okay, that is a hard team to beat right there. But if I'm pointing to anything so far, I'm pointing to giveaways. If you take away the puck or they give away the puck, then the Avalanche are going to fight strong, but you need to capitalize. You need to counter, and you need to keep your team in this game with every opportunity that you get. Okay. Hey, look, when you look at power play, game 3, they weren't that great. They come in game 4, they go 3 for 3. You cannot, this team is so strong. There is little room for any error. Little room for any error whatsoever. That's how strong this team is. But again, they're going to the second round. Whoever they play in the second round, again, I wish them the best of luck. Again, congratulations to the Avalanche. I wish them the best of luck as well. As for the Blues, best of luck in the offseason. And we'll see what happens. But in my opinion, Nate, the Avalanche right here, this is the team to beat in the NHL playoffs.